and welcome to this special teleconference of the Board of Regents, University of Houston. As chairman, I'd like to call this meeting to order. For the record, it's April the 8th, 2020, and the time is 3 p.m. Central Time. As I call your name, please state for the record if you're present or if you're on the teleconference call, either one. Durga Agarwal.
Conference call.
Doug Brooks.
I'm on the call.
Alonzo Cantu.
On the call.
Steve Chasen.
On the call.
Beth Madison.
On the call.
John McCall.
On the call.
Gerald McGeevy. Gerald. Jack Moore.
On the call.
John Fields. Chancellor.
On the call, sir.
Paula Sharp.
On the call.
Jim McShann.
On the call.
Jim on the call.
Yes, sir. On the call.
Yes, he's on the other.
He's
side.
on
Donna
the
Cornell.
call. I'm here.
Lisa Holdeman and Raymond Bartlett.
Yep.
All right, well, we definitely have a good quorum for this meeting. We have two items listed on your agenda today for the board's consideration. The first item to be considered is an update on the admissions criteria UH system. Ms. Donna Cornell, Vice Chancellor of Legal Affairs and General Counsel, would you please introduce this item?
Yes. As you all know, that the coronavirus pandemic has caused several things to not occur as we would typically expect. That would include the ACT and SAT. Those are now not being offered. They do not offer them online. And our students who would be entering in the fall would not be able to use the ACT or SAT as admission criteria. As a result of that, we are asking the board to delegate the authority to the chancellor to temporarily waive those admissions requirements for the summer 2020 and fall 2020 admission standards for undergraduate and, if necessary, graduate admission at the campuses within the University of Houston system. These changes will be limited to waiving those specific prerequisites that cannot be met due to the coronavirus. And that is the action we would like the board to take. Do you have any questions?
And we have to take action on that, right, Donna?
Yes, one of the requirements under Chapter 51, the board has to establish admissions criteria, and to change the admissions criteria, it needs board approval under the Education Code.
All right, let's just talk for a minute, and so if anybody has any questions, and I'll open it up. As Chancellor, then, are we basically looking at transcripts then, and then it just kind of really hurts the smart people, I guess, huh?
No, basically, there are other things, and the board approved earlier the admissions criteria in terms of minimum SAT, ACT, but there are also core courses in which we require a letter grade. And now many high schools and community colleges will not be offering a letter grade, they will be offering a pass-fail. As well as to our graduate programs, they will be carrying, even from U of H, they will be carrying a pass-fail grade as opposed to letter grade. So we just wanted to make sure we have flexibility, but there are many other factors that we look at. We look at what their performance has been prior to this semester. Even during this semester, students have an opportunity to take a letter grade or pass-fail, not just here, but at most institutions, which means those students who are looking to get into the graduate program, or those who are looking for their GPA, or those who are doing very good, they will choose letter grade anyway. So this way, at least those students who would have hard time proving through SAT, ACT, as opposed to through their grades, this is not going to hurt them. And it's going to be different in all four institutions because we have different admissions criteria, and we are constantly in communication with all the presidents. I meet with everybody through Zoom or Microsoft Teams twice a week, sometimes 3 times. So we will like to have the flexibility for us to be able to offer some flexibility if board would be so agreeable.
Anybody else?
Yeah, this is Regent McElvey. Want to make sure you know I'm on the call.
Thank you.
Absolutely, Regent McKelvey.
Renew, this is Jeff. Is it going to be more difficult to process the applications now? Is this going to add a complication that we haven't thought about or prepared for?
Yeah, so we have looked through all this. Yes, it will be a little more cumbersome, but at the same time, SAT, ACT, many schools have been dropping ACT, SAT anyway in favor of their essays, in favor of their performance on particular courses. So here we give a lot of importance of how they did in their certain courses in high school, particularly reading, math and comprehension and English, so on. So we would be looking at those because those will still be coming to us in text. So I don't think it's going to be too much of a hurdle, but some graduate programs definitely are looking right now as to what is it that they are going to do. And just so that you know, we have been going through our admission interviews for medical school all online, and we would be interviewing 165 candidates out of about 3,000 we had. We have invited 165 to video interviews, and we'll be selecting by May 30 students to come. So we are all adjusting to the new reality. So yes, it would be a little harder, but we are prepared for it.
All right. Go ahead, next question.
Do we have any idea if other schools are making these same adjustments?
Yes. Yes, they are.
Yes, they all are in conversation. Other systems have not voted on it yet. I believe Texas Tech had their short board meeting like this one yesterday, and that's because we have all been really meeting at least once a week, all the chancellors. So we are generally on top of these kinds of issues, and we are doing the same thing.
Renew, Regent McElvey, and you may have covered this, but when we adopt this, is there a chance that this may become our process into the future, and that we not go back to the use of standardized tests?
I'm not so sure right now that would happen, but if suppose fall also continues to be, beyond fall, if it continues to be a problem, it's possible. We will look at it. We will look at data and try to see how these students are performing. And if it proves that SAT, ACT is becoming really irrelevant, the faculty might consider that.
Okay.
Renew, this is Doug Brooks. I'd assume that the SAT and ACT people are probably feverishly working on how to get those tests online in the future as well, because that may be the only way they stay relevant.
Yes, it is true. Everybody's thinking what can we do. But I think this time we have done a lot of flexibility in many other areas as well. And I think it has really helped ease anxiety. And we can see at any given day we have about 2,000 Zoom and Teams meetings, actually more than 2,300 I see on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So it's pretty impressive that after initial elections, people have really gotten now used to it, and some actually say that they like it.
Well, Renew, this is John McCall. You guys have adapted well and didn't have a lot of time to do it. So from everything I've read, from what you've done, and thank you for sending those reports out to the Board of Regents. It leaves us up, it gives us up to date on what you are doing. It looks like everybody's done a great job. I don't see that we have any choice whatsoever here. And for the foreseeable future, this is the new normal, is teleconferencing. So I would, Mr. Chairman, if it's, I would put forth a motion that we approve the ability for the university to go forward this way.
I'll second it, Regent McKelvey.
All right, we have a first and a second. I think we have to do this by roll call. So just to go very quick, if y'all don't mind, I'm just going to call your first name and not be so formal and just get a quick vote out of each one of you, okay? Either a yay or a nay. So, all right. Durga?
Yay.
Doug?
Yay.
Alonzo?
Yay.
Steve?
Yay.
Beth?
Yay.
John?
Yay.
Gerald?
Yay.
Jack?
Yay.
John?
He doesn't vote, but that's okay.
Good.
That's it.
All right. Does anyone
Now we go to the
have any
next
further
one.
questions about it? All right.
Then
The motion has been approved.
the next item is,
It's Board of Regents 2, an update on tuition and fees.
yes.
Ms. Cornell, will you please introduce this item?
Yes. The request is to delegate to the chancellor the ability to make temporary changes to the fiscal year 20 and fiscal year 2021 fee rates, variable rate undergraduate and graduate free rates, mandatory student recommended fees, and voluntary and optional fees at the University of Houston system. These changes would be limited to waiving specific fees and reducing certain fees as necessary due to the coronavirus. Specifically, at this time, the University of Houston would be looking to waive, just by way of example, if you approve this, they would be looking to waive, for example, for somebody entering full-time for the summer, which means 6 hours in a particular session, we would be waiving the mandatory fees. That would include things like the university center fee, the student services fee, and the extended access fee. That would assist in driving enrollment. It would also assist in the fact that the students wouldn't be able to access some of those services since classes will be online. In addition, if the student is only entering for 3 hours in a particular summer session, we would waive mandatory fees with the exception of the extended access fee. That extended access fee is is really designed to support the online accessibility of these classes. So that would be the plan, but really it is to give some discretion to the chancellor to waive some of the fees that have been approved as necessary due to the change in the way we are delivering courses across the system. Any questions?
Donna, my question would just be,
whatsoever?
what percentage of the total student fee would that encompass if we got rid of the University Center student fee?
The mandatory fees, I believe, and Jim, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if we waived all of those, including the extended access fee, it would save the student approximately 20%. If it's just the other two mandatory fees and they would still have the extended access fee, I believe it would be a 10% savings. That's for summer
Jim,
enrollment.
that's correct.
Yeah.
And what's the total cost of this move, just in the total number of dollars?
Around $6 million. 5 to 7 is what we're estimating.
Okay.
So I just wanted to add something, which is we just gave you that as an example. While all universities are looking at it as to what is it that they need to do, this is only U of H. We are just a couple of days ahead of others. Others are going through their process to try to see what kind of discounts or anything that they would like to do. We felt that we needed to give something in terms of a break, but also some incentive for students to continue. And doing this way is probably the best. And the students, we did, discuss also, and this seems to be the preferred way because they just feel like, why should they be for the fee that they are not using? Although all of these services, or majority of these services, staff have pushed online, but it's still not the same thing. So we understand that. So we are doing right now at the University of Houston would be only for summer. We will make the decision for fall, maybe in a month's time, and all other universities will. So therefore, what we are requesting is sort of flexibility for us to be able to manage and do any kind of very temporary fee or tuition relief from what board has already approved.
Anybody else? All right, no more questions. May I hear a motion to approve the item as presented?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right. Let me have a roll call real quick. Durga, you just made the motion. Doug?
Yay?
Alonzo?
Yay.
Steve?
Yay.
Beth?
Yay.
John?
Yay.
Gerald?
Yay.
Jack?
Yay.
John? Still not with us. All right. This motion is approved. The next section listed on your agenda today is the executive session. I would now like to move to our executive session. The Regents will now go into executive session pursuant to the sections of the Texas Government Code listed on page 2. Only those invited will remain. So would you please handle that, Chancellor and Donna?
Yes, just a moment.
Yes, we'll have
The University of Houston is bolstering its promise to make college more affordable for low and middle income families by expanding the Cougar Promise financial aid program. Starting this fall, tuition will be covered for eligible freshmen from families who earn up to $65,000 a year, an increase of $15,000 from the current threshold. Freshmen whose families earn between $65,000 and $125,000 are eligible for tuition support of up to $2,000 per year. Since starting in 2008, the Cougar Promise income threshold has more than doubled, providing thousands of students an opportunity to attend college. The men's and women's indoor track and field teams swept the American Conference Championships. The men's team captured their 6th straight indoor conference championship, while the women took home the title for the 2nd year in a row. And the UH swimming and diving team captured its 4th straight conference title, including 17 individual championships. With hundreds of thousands of Houston area students out of school, Houston Public Media, a service of the University of Houston, is revamping its schedule to provide programming that will support learning for students from pre-kindergarten through high school.
Houston Public Media was America's first educational television station, and our role has never been more important than it is today.
The programming on Channel 8 will help meet the educational needs of students by targeting specific curriculum demands for different age groups throughout the day. Early elementary school programming will run from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Programming for students in grades 4 through 8 runs 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And high school programming runs 1 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Education is our mission, and curriculum-based learning is what we do every day. Parents are now becoming teachers, and together you can learn as a family with this great content.
Additional educational resources are available online at houstonpublicmedia.org.
Hello, Gators. As you know, the University of Houston Downtown is among the many universities across our nation affected by COVID-19. No doubt you have questions and concerns, but rest assured, UHD is here for you.
Faculty and staff are working hard to ensure each of you is able to finish this semester successfully. Through teamwork and dedication, we can do this together. I want you to know that UHD remains committed to making sure that you achieve your academic goals. Gators, I know this is without a doubt a difficult time, but if I've learned anything during my time here, it's that we can emerge from any challenge stronger than before.
But you can't do it alone. Students, you might not be on campus, but our student affairs team is here, ready to help. Although the situation changes daily, one thing won't change, and that's our commitment to you.
Absolutely. While you're away from campus, information technology is just a phone call or an email away. Faculty, staff, and students needing assistance can always count on our team to answer questions and provide guidance.
And students, be there for each other. Text your friends, call your classmates. Let them know that you're there during this time. United, we can stand up to any challenge.
Teamwork makes the difference, and that's essential as facilities management works around the clock to maintain a safe and healthy campus for you.
As you have seen, UHD Gators come together in trying times, and we're doing that now. We ask that of you as well. Although we're physically separated as a result of this situation, it's important that we remain closer than ever in spirit. Reach out to your fellow Gators. Let them know that you are there for them just as we are here for you. UHD has an abundance of strength. Today, UHD will help to carry you, and tomorrow, you will help to carry Houston.
Together.
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 University of Houston researchers are donating personal protective equipment from their labs to health workers on the front lines of the COVID-19 fight to mitigate a shortage caused by the surge in patients. Dr. David Brammer and Animal Care Operations sent 70 full-body coveralls and 2 powered air purifying respirators to the Texas Medical Center to safeguard against contaminated air. And physics professor Shay Curran donated bodysuits, N95 masks, and gloves. More items will be donated as weekly shipments arrive. Curran is also using a nanotech coating he developed to improve the ability of surgical masks to protect against the transmission of the virus. Standard surgical masks are very porous and can allow the virus to penetrate. His coating makes the masks impervious to water, improving protection. Curran is in talks with manufacturers and is ready to ramp up manufacturing capacity to get the masks to healthcare workers. For the latest from UH, make sure to subscribe.
My nature of being an explorer, when we lived out in New Mexico and Arizona, one of the things that we did as kids on the weekend is that we would form a group of us and we would go and explore the mountains. And so I was always looking what's on the other side. I go to that hill and then there was another hill and I had to go down the valley and go to the top of the other hill, and always was very curious. So looking up in the heavens then and seeing those stars also made me curious about exploring those. And who was exploring those? Astronauts. Watching Neil and Buzz Aldrin go and land on the moon. And I said I want to follow in their footsteps. And the biggest challenge that I faced was being a person of color in America in the 60s. Because as I looked at that little black and white television of them landing on the moon, I didn't see anybody that looked like me. I had already done my research at NASA and I found out that there were medical doctors who worked in the space program. It was, again, a godsend for me, because one of the other things that I discovered very, very early on is that I liked helping people. And so with those two seemingly separate goals, I was able to put them together and saying, you know what, I could become a medical doctor who then travels in space. In order for you to be able to take care of yourself, take care of your family, and take care of your community, you have to be a knowledgeable person. And that knowledgeable person requires expertise, education from somewhere. And the best way to get that is through college, through a formal education, like, the University of Houston Clear Lake. And I chose that. If you think about, I went into medical school, then I went into astronaut school, and then later on I went to business school. All of that, I chose college, the formal education, in order to do that because it was so important.
The University of Houston is bolstering its promise to make college more affordable for low and middle income families by expanding the Cougar Promise financial aid program. Starting this fall, tuition will be covered for eligible freshmen from families who earn up to $65,000 a year.
All right, I'd like to reconvene the Board of Regents meeting. The Regents met in executive session and conferred with the General Counsel and discussed pending legal matters. No action was taken in executive session. Dr. Couture, do you have any further questions? Does anybody have any comments?
No, I do not.
All right. If not, it's 3:35 p.m. Wednesday, April the 8th, 2020, Houston Central Time, and this meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you all very much. That great attendance.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated, everybody. Everybody stay healthy and well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.